I hope you're having a great day and I hope you're staying safe at home. What I'm going to talk about today is something that thousands and thousands of people around the world have already been practicing and doing over the last couple of months. And the results have been phenomenal. No, it's not a drug, it's not a nutraceutical, it's not a particular food, it's not a particular exercise. It is a way of living. We've had people whose arthritic pains have reduced. We have people who were insomniac and they are sleeping better at night. We had people who couldn't sleep because their minds are constantly working with stress and thoughts and fears and everything else. All of that is disappearing right now. We had people with gut issues, people with hyperacidity, hypertension, and so many other conditions. And all of that seems to be getting better for most of them. I'm not here to make a claim that what I'm going to tell you is going to take away your diseases, but I am here to tell you that when you follow this way of living, everything is going to get better. Why? Because most of us are operating outside of the laws of nature. And these 8 points that I give you that you can practice, maybe you don't have to do all 8 points together. You can start off with 2 and then 3. But as you reach 8, you will be motivated to do all 8 points because by the time you do 2 of the points, you already are going to start feeling better. And many aspects of your health, your disease, your immune system, your energy levels, your skin, your hair is going to change automatically. So there's no drug to make this work. There's no drug that makes anything work in life. There are drugs that make you happy and high. There are drugs that suppress your symptoms. And there are chronic drugs that you're put on for a lifetime because you're chronically treating your symptoms. You're never addressing the root causes. I'm talking about the circadian cycle. I'm giving you 8 points today. You have Saturday and Sunday to think about it. And maybe from tomorrow evening, that Sunday evening, you can start, trying to implement 2, 3, 4, all 8 points. Most people did all 8 points easily. We're going to aim to do this for 5 to 6 to 7 days in a row. Does it cost you money? Absolutely not. Does it cost you effort? Everything in life costs you effort. A little bit of motivation. What's the motivation? The motivation should be your own health. That you don't want to fall sick. Your own health. If you have a disease, I want to get better. Because you should know by now all the pills that you're on isn't making you better. It's just keeping you sick, but keeping your symptoms in control. And the third thing, do you want to personally evolve? A lot of people say time is money. Time is money, but time is also life. You have finite time in your life. How do you want to use it? Treating your disease in and out of hospital all the time, constantly chasing superfoods, diet programs, battering your body with exercise in the gym. No, we don't have to be health obsessed. We got to operate within the laws of nature in the most effortless manner. And nature takes care of us. How does nature take care of us? The outside environment controls our inside environment. Our inside environment is our own body's intelligence in trillions of cells. Our immune system, the way our body fights bacteria, diseases, viruses, inflammation, germs. The internal environment is dependent on the external environment. The external and internal environment is best managed within the laws of nature. So, point number 1, we're at home. Everyone's at lockdown right now. We don't have an excuse to have an early dinner. We do not have an excuse. If you have an excuse, obviously nothing in life works for you. What I'm going to tell you right now will not work for you, and nothing in any other aspect of your life works if you have an excuse. The easiest thing is an excuse when we don't want to do something or when we don't want to find a way to do something. So let's get that out of the way. You can have an early dinner at sunset or within an hour after sunset. So for most people, most people in our country, that would be around 6:30 to 7:30. By 7:30, your dinner is done. Rule number 1. And we're going to keep that uniform from Monday to Friday. We're going to try to do that. So from Sunday night, that's tomorrow, till Friday night, we're going to try to keep that the same. Have your dinner at the same time every day. Get it done by 7:30. You can start at 6:30, you can start at 7, but get your dinner done by 7:30. Point number 1. Point number 2. An hour before bedtime, you switch off all your gadgets. No, I don't want to know your excuses. I don't care about your excuses. Like I said, if you want to do it, you'll do it. If you don't want to do it, just don't do it. We shouldn't be wasting time in trying to help people overcome their excuses. It's a choice. Everyone has the maturity to make a choice. Do it or don't do it. Okay, so put the excuses aside. 1 hour before bedtime, all gadgets off, television off, all of that stuff. Plan your Netflix, your social media time, all your so-called important time calls, do it before that. Most people think they have important calls, okay, but that's a story they built in their mind. I'm not taking away from your work that you do. I have important calls as well, but they're not that important that I will allow it to affect my rhythm of living or my health. So number 2, all gadgets, all phones off 1 hour before bed. Get your Netflix done, everything before that. What can you do 1 hour before your bed? Read, talk to your family, prepare for the next day, do your gratitude exercise, whatever it is. Listen to music, meditate, do your pranayama. You have a lot of things that you can do in 1 hour before your bedtime. Number 3, sleep at the same time every day. Whether you decided to sleep at 9, 9:30, 10, 11, 11:30 or 12. The later you sleep, the less effective it is for you. So you select your sleep time, whether it's 10:30 or 11 or 11:30 or 12. But select that sleep time and go to bed at the same time every day. Monday to Friday night, get into bed. Even if you don't fall asleep, stay in bed. Train your body to fall asleep at the same time every day. And because you've done that 1 hour break between your gadgets and you've been able to do your pranayama, your meditation, you've probably already calmed down your mind, so it should be easier for you to fall asleep. And as you practice this, you'll fall into a deep sleep automatically. So what's the next point? Try to wake up before sunrise or with sunrise. Okay, not after sunrise, before or with sunrise. Okay, the moment you wake up, what you do is open the window, look out. I want you to look at bright light. Do not put your phone on for at least 1 to 2 hours after you wake up. That's the next point. No phones on for at least 1 hour to 2 hours after you wake up. Step out on your balcony, up on your terrace if you have one, into your garden or wherever it's safe, or just open your windows and look at natural light to reset your circadian rhythm, to reset your melatonin levels. Okay? Then the next point is, whether you're fasting or not, by now you would have realized that you've already done a beautiful 12-hour fast because you had an early dinner and you're possibly going to eat within the next 12 hours. If you're hungry, eat within 12 hours. If you're not hungry, you can fast for the 13th hour or the 14th hour or the 15th hour. That's up to you. Don't push your body. Listen to it. When you fast the circadian way, which means you're getting your timings accurate, you're working your body according to your biological clock, the same benefits that you get in 15, 16, 17, 18 hours of fasting, you can get in 12 beautiful hours. Everything works according to the clock. So now you want to realize that most of your meals, most of your calories should be consumed by afternoon. So if you're having a breakfast or a mid-morning snack or a mid-morning breakfast, you're breaking your fast at 11 or 12, you want to get most of your calories in the morning and by lunchtime, because your metabolic activity is at the highest. So most of your calories in a day will come within this feeding time. This feeding time, whether you've made a feeding time for 12 hours or 8 hours or 9 hours, depending on how long you fast, is where you get most of your calories. Your dinner should be the lightest meal of the day. And if you've eaten well during the day, it'll automatically become the lightest meal of the day. If you've not eaten well during the day and you've had a really bad lunch or poor eating habits during the day, your dinner will automatically be bigger because you will be hungry. Your body will ask you for food. So if you eat right, your dinner will automatically become the lightest meal of the day. But when you're having a dinner, it doesn't mean you have to go low carb or no carb. You can have a proper dinner because you're giving your body a break of 12 or more hours to break down everything. You're using your own body's circadian rhythm, which works in rhythm with your digestion, your enzymes, your acids. So everything's going to get more efficient. By doing this, you develop an efficient body. So you'll find that carbs don't really hurt you unless you're overdoing it, unless carbs don't suit you. You don't have to overdo it on fads because you are working effortlessly. You've seen nature, it's effortless. You've seen human beings, we put in all the complicated effort and we don't achieve at the end of the day. We have to be like nature because we are products of nature. Effortless, but use the rhythms, the laws of nature and the rhythms of the body and nature to make it effortless for you. The next rule is, whether you exercise in the morning or in the evening, whatever it is, whatever works for you, try to exercise at the same time every day. So if it's in the morning at 9 o'clock, for the next 7 days, work out at 9 o'clock. If it's in the evening at 5 o'clock, work out. What we're trying to do is live in sync with our body's clocks. Today, we do everything differently. Today, we work out in the morning, tomorrow in the evening, we eat lunch at 1, tomorrow at 3 o'clock, dinner at midnight, then the next day, dinner at 8 o'clock. You see, there's no sync in rhythm. And that's where most of the disharmony happens between our cells, digestion, and everything else. So your lunch should be a good, heavy meal. Don't try to diet at lunchtime. Eat sensibly, the right food, but don't try to cut down calories at lunchtime. You want to do it at night. One of the biggest problems in India are the late meals and the heavy meals at night. And if people can only change that, things like constipation, indigestion, acidity, fluctuation in blood sugar levels is all going to slowly fade away, mostly fade away, only by making that one change. Heavy dinners at night and late dinners, that cannot exist. Maybe on the weekends, but Monday to Friday, you want to be disciplined. So if you can do these things, the last point is coffee. Have your coffee, I don't have a problem with it. Never on an empty stomach, and try to wait for at least 2 to 3 hours after you wake up. When you wake up in the morning, your cortisol levels are naturally high. They are already high. When you put more caffeine into your system, you're increasing more and more cortisol, which in turn is a stress hormone. Your body doesn't need it. You don't need to increase your cortisol levels. So wait for at least 2 to 3 hours after you wake up when your cortisol levels start falling down, and then enjoy your cup of coffee. So like I said, you have an excuse or you have a choice. Whatever you choose is what will give you the results that you're looking for. Put yourself in the circadian rhythm. There are people out there who may be suffering from end-of-life diseases right now, or conditions that they cannot solve, or rare ailments. Okay, we may not have a cure for you, but all I can tell you and motivate you is put yourself into the circadian rhythm and hope that your own intelligence in your body, which has been compromised and that's why you're sick, will kick in and possibly help you to recover. And we have seen this happen by just taking, like I always tell people, if you're baking, okay, and you put your cookies or your cake into an oven which is not preheated, okay, it's not the right temperature, which means your cookies or your cake is in the wrong environment, wrong temperature, it's not going to bake. If you take a sick patient, if you give them all the drugs in the world, but you put them in the wrong environment, the drugs no matter how good they are, or even the nutrition, no matter how good they are, it's not going to heal the patient. The patient has to be in the right environment, within the right laws of nature, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to recap it really quickly. Do it. The results are guaranteed. Some results are guaranteed. We've got people who are feeling lighter, people who say, Luke, I don't feel stressed out anymore. It's unbelievable. I can't tell you what more we may learn when people do this, just by aligning themselves with the law of nature and the circadian rhythm. Early dinners with sunset, or at least 1 hour within sunset. Phones off at least 1 hour before bedtime. Get into bed at the same time every single day, at least until the weekend. Wake up before sunrise or with sunrise. Don't switch on your phones for 1 to 2 hours. Look out. First, customize your eyes with daylight, the sun. If there's no sun, the sky, whatever it is, natural light. Most of your calories by lunchtime. So whether it's breakfast, mid-lunch, or your lunch. After that, you can have a snack. Dinner is the lightest meal. Exercise time is fixed at the same time every single day. And your coffee, if you can, at least 2 to 3 hours after you wake up. These are simple tips. They don't cost you money. Cost you a little bit of effort. Try it. You have nothing to lose. It works for you or it doesn't work for you. As simple as that. Do not make it complicated. You know, when we start living within the laws of nature, our cells start working within rhythm. That's why it's called the circadian rhythm. When things work in rhythm, there's harmony. When there's harmony, every function of the body is able to be done efficiently. When we're in disharmony, we have to try to make the body work the right way. We shouldn't have to be trying to do that. It happens automatically. It's only when we change our environment and we cause disharmony, then that's when we have discomfort and we have disease. Have a great weekend, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep.